Had a really good idea this morning what I was going to talk about, and I forgot. And I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Manjur Thani Rahmatullah alayhi, he used to always keep a book with him. I think Imam Dr. Abdul Arif Rahmatullah alayhi, in following his footsteps, he used to keep a book with him. And whatever thoughts used to come to his mind, he used to write them down. And in that, so like any thoughts, like you think about a hadith, you're thinking about a Quranic verse, a masala, or a general idea. So he used to do this. And there's actually a book called Bawadirun Nawadir. So the Bawadirun Nawadir is basically all of those thoughts. So this is the thoughts that come to his mind at different times of the day, before going to sleep, before eating, or sometimes make a note of that. And all of those notes became a book. I'm not sure, I've never seen a book, but I read it somewhere. Similarly, Imam Bukhari Rahmatullah alayhi has mentioned that one of his companions who spent time with him, he said, I traveled with Imam Bukhari Rahmatullah alayhi. And I counted for about, at least, I can't remember the exact number in the book, but he said about 10-15 times, Imam Bukhari Rahmatullah would wake up at night, light the candle, and then write some kind of notes, make some kind of notes. You understand? So this is when you have the ulama, talabul ilm. A masla is always going around your mind. My teacher Mufti Sulaiman said, he said that Muftaqi Usmani used to tell them that a real talibul ilm is that person who always has a masla in his mind, that something's bothering him. And it's always like a few questions that he's looking for these things. Like what's bothering you right now? So you always have a talibul ilm is not a person who comes to class, learns sabak and goes home and closes the book and finish. Talib ilm is a person like ismul fa'il, but has the meaning of sifat mushabbah to ismul fa'il, meaning long-term quality. That's fa'ilun, fa'ilun, remember that one? So, but even as fa'ilun, but it has the meaning of sifat mushabbah, meaning a person who is continuously in the pursuit of knowledge. And this is how we should be, to always in pursuit of knowledge. And when we have, that's why you should always have, like, I think Mullah mentioned to you last time as well, Imam Ahmad Rahmatullah alayhi, when he reached old age, somebody seen him with what? A pen and a mihbara, a small, like an ink pot. So he had an ink pot and he had his pen. So somebody said, no, like, old man, getting old, and he's still walking around like a little child. The children go to, like, the young men go to maktab and learn Quran, learn hadith, like a young man, like a young boy, the old man. So, when are you going to keep doing this for? He said, what? Ma'al mihbara ila maqbara. Mihbara, ismul ala, the tool of hibr. And maqbara, zaman, you've done ism zaman yet? Place of qabr, place of qubur. Maqbara, meaning the grave, meaning until I die. This is going to be my pursuit of my knowledge. This is knowledge is my thing until I die. So we need to if we want to acquire knowledge, then this has to be our way and our approach and our goal. It's always involved in that. Knowledge is not something. I mean, you will learn basics. You learn enough. If you just come to Madrasa, learn your books and close it and that's it. You might learn enough just to your fara'id will be there. But if you want to understand properly, deep depth in knowledge, then this doesn't stop. It's basically a particular time slot for learning knowledge in a particular way, and it has to be your lifelong goal, lifelong objective. And everywhere where you are, whether you're eating, whether you're drinking, whether you're sleeping, whether you're talking, it has to be everything. Has to, like, so as a Muslim, the Prophet says in the Hadith, that a believer, one of the believers who will have share in the throne of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, is rajulun qalbu mu'allaqun bil masjid. His heart is always in the masjid, meaning he's always planning his day around salah. That salah is what asr is this time. So therefore, I make sure I go to town and come back before asr salah. I have to go and make an errand. I have to be back from maghrib salah. I have to, before isha, I'm going to eat before. So everything around salah, his heart is always in the masjid. It rotates around salah. And you find it. Similarly, we should have the second after salah, we should have everything rotates around knowledge, study time, reading time, note taking time, and as that's how you acquire knowledge. You write, you make notes, you read extra books, you read multiple books on the same subject, and until so much so that you see a book on that subject, you look through and say, yep, read this. 1 point. So only at 1 point is that you become so familiar with that subject. That example, you're doing sarf. So you read your book of sarf. The book of sarf inside out. There's one brother in the morning, he's like, I joke with him, he's like, whenever something, so he goes, Monana, it's an Arabic book, page 45. He quotes the exact page number that. So you know the whole Arabic book inside out. I said, you're like, think, Zakir Naik. You're saying, brother has asked a very good question. He's saying, first section on Arabic, section 4, unit 2, section 4, page 445. The author has mentioned. So that's how he's quoting it. So that's when you know the book inside out. You're supposed to know the book like this. Yes? So that's how, if you know, that's how you're supposed to know the book inside out. You know, like everywhere, you read it. Then you read multiple, you read the footnotes. If you've got Arabic book, you've got the footnotes. You know the footnotes inside out. Then you're like, okay, I've done this book. Now let me look at another book. Same topic. And you read that over and over again. You multiple books on topic. Until you get familiar with it. Until you come to time and say, well, I know this subject. I don't need a book. Let me explain to it. I can explain in my own words. And you have to remember also as well that sometimes, like, just learning is not enough. something happened in many of the commentaries, like you're just regurgitating what somebody else has already said. That's also beneficial, that you'll know the aqwal of the ulama. But one thing, a deeper level than this, is that you understand what they're saying. And you can be able to process their aqwal. And say, well, you know what it really boils down to is this. Because sometimes you have like a loads of aqwal. And they say, no, what it really boils down to is this alif lam for jins or is it for istighraq? That's the ishkal. You keep on quoting, like Fulan said this, Fulan said this, Fulan said this, Fulan said this. Say, well, why are they saying this? The ikhtilaf boils down to, is it istighraq or is it jins? It boils down to, is it istisna munqati or muttasil? Is it boiled down to, is it am or is it khusan wal ba'ad? Is it a jama'? Like those kind of things, you understand? Is it haqiqa, is it majaz? If it's majaz, what kind of majaz is it? You have to understand, like, you have to be like, engaged in the text. You understand? And that comes with deep thinking, reading the books properly. You understand? So the books that you have in front of you, they're meant for a particular purpose. It's that you read about it. You have Quduri. The Quduri is a classical text. You read it properly inside out. You think, what's the reason behind the masala? Why is it said it like this? What's the implication of this? You have a book in Nahwa, like how is the taqseem of the, you learn how to categorize things, how to analyze things, how to structure things, how to break things down. That's very important. The skill of thinking, not just like quoting and like compiling things together. But okay, you have a discussion, but where's the actual ikhtilaf? Sometimes say, there's like 5 different opinions. Imam Abu Hanifa is saying, Imam Shafi is saying, Fulan is saying this. But where do they actually differ? Like what's the like, there are many things that agree upon, but they disagree on this one issue. So we also analyze, break down, and all this comes to practice. When you read over and over again, you sit down, you think, you analyze, you draw it up, you write it out. Then you start to understand. It doesn't come just by like just reading it once. We call it a salsari read. It comes when you read it in depth over and over again. You read multiple books on the same topic. You see, it comes in Usul al-Shashi. Let's say Usul al-Shashi. Let's look at it in Nur Anwar. Let's look at it in the Sharh of Kashf al-Asrar. Let's look at what Tawdih and Talbis say, the same discussion. Let's look at the other books. Let's look at the modern books. Look at the older books. And then you understand the mas'ala. This mas'ala comes in Usul al-Shashi, but where's it coming Quduri? So what's he really trying to link it back together? You have to have this. And if you do all of this, then you start to it starts to make sense to you. You start to taste the ladha. Just by reading it and translating it, that's fine. But that's the first step. You understand? That's why we say, like, okay, you have exams coming up to some of you. So coming first is just only like, okay, that means that you know the information in the book in front of you. But that's not the objective. What's the objective? The objective is that you're able to, you've understood that science. And then the nahwa that you learned, when it comes to the Quran, you can apply it anywhere. When the sarf comes to the Quran, any verb that comes, if you just learn that sarf book that you have in front of you, and you solve that, that's fine. But then you can't, when you get Quran, the Quran comes, and you can't figure out a sigha, then you've only learned it for that one book. That's not the goal. That's a tool for you to be able to understand any Arabic language, any Arabic verb. That's the whole point. Do you understand? And this requires hard work, determination, reading over and over again, multiple reads, a deep read, understanding. You make your own ma'ani. You make your own understanding of what's been said in front of you. Do you understand? So you read properly. And then you start thinking, like when you see in Sirah, okay, how does this happen here? What was it really like? Okay, this much information in front of us. Maybe it's another hadith, another narration. It puts it together. Yes? So you have to look. So, don't just be like superficial reading. Just read it, you understand it, translate it, that's it. No, like a very deep understanding. So when you see a word here, you say, this same word came in a hadith. This word came in the poetry. Yes, this same word came in the hadith. I get what it means, but this word means different here. So how do you understand it? So you always have to have these things in front of you. If you just read and close the book and go home, then you're not really going to get something. You understand? So even all those people who write research, all that, they're always thinking. They have notebooks with them. They have ideas. And this comes about when this is what's in your mind. Do you understand? Yes. So when people are like a football manager, what does he do? Does he just come to work in the morning and go home? He's always thinking about tactics. He's always thinking about next 5 games. What tactic am I going to use? Who am I going to rest? Who am I going to play? Because it's always that's his only thing in his mind. So when you're studying, so you always have this in your mind. That this is a question coming up. This hadith and this hadith, how do you reconcile them? What's the Quranic verse that links to this hadith? There's also the fiqh masala that comes in. How does it link up here? You should be so thinking that when you see somebody I remember reading somewhere that somebody was saying to one of his students, have you read Muqtas al-Ma'ani? So Muqtas al-Ma'ani, the Sharh of Talkhis, and Talkhis is basically Balagha, one of the main core books of Balagha. So he said, have you read Usul Balagha? Have you read Talkhis of Muqtas al-Ma'ani? He said yes. He goes, have you seen the people in the streets? When you go on the streets and you hear people speaking in the markets and the towns, have you seen the Muqtas al-Ma'ani? He says no. He goes, you haven't read Muqtas al-Ma'ani. If you don't see the balagha, the taqdeem, the ta'khir, isma qabla dhikr, not in, he's talking in Urdu, it's an Urdu book. If you don't see the same ideas in English, like in the Urdu language, when people are talking, he's the taqdeem there, he's the ta'keed there. He's done Isma Qabla Dhikra. He's done Ibham, Tawdi Ba'd al-Ibham. You don't see it in a daily language, you don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? When you say, oh yeah, I get what that comes to your mind, oh, that person said a sentence on the radio, you hear a sentence, so oh, that's the balagha is happening here. That's when you really understand it. When you see there's a khilaf, you say, oh, the news report, so that's khabar da'if. Because the rawi, you should think that as a da'if rawi. It's mu'adhar, who's the source. Like in everything, you should be thinking that. But these are real life principles, isn't it? And that's when you say, well, this knowledge, this is in your mind. Because when you understand it. So it should be so engaging that everything you see, you go outside and say, well, usul al-fiqh is he's a takhsis, but the khilaf is regarding this. So when you have your brother have a fight, you say you're having a khilaf because he didn't he's a takhsis. You understand? Yes? So like, I think that's how, isn't it? So for example, when my daughter tells me, where's mummy? So I go like this. Mummy's in here. And then when she's younger, she laughs. And now she says what? Or she's a bit older now, she goes, mummy can't fit. And when Abdurrahman, he says what? It's mustahil, adatan. It's mustahil. So now it's different levels, but then you know how to answer the question. It's in my pocket, so now different levels. So you think, that term that we done in mantiq, or that term we done in aqidah. You understand? So you have to be able to, that just always at your tip of your tongue. Then you understand it. And that's what you call it, engaging with knowledge, engaging with ilm. Do you understand? So that it's not just put it away, it's become part of your life. Do you understand? So that's how you have to work hard. Don't just be like, read the books here. Read the books in Madrasa. I mean, not talking about leaving them, or close the books and actually open it again the weekend. Alhamdulillah keeps asking them, how much time do you do the weekend? And everybody says what? The most reasonable round number is what? How many minutes?
5 minutes.
You said 5, that's even worse. How much is it?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, you said 10. 10 is the average. So 5 and 20, you said the average is what? 10. That's not enough. Yes? Okay, I know you guys got school, we got work on that, but in the weekend, that means that you haven't really got into it. Yes, that's not like, you have to have that, the leather that, I like this is fun. And that's when you can see you start becoming talib al-ilm. Yes? I know when I always tell stories, I'm not going to record this, but when I always tell stories about, like, the ulama of the past, even if you see in Darul, even nowadays you have ulama, probably less than before. You have students, when they study, they go crazy. Like, they study so much, like, it's like, wow, you can't believe it, that they go crazy when they study. So you can do that as well. It's like, even nowadays, for example, like, if you look, who's like famous ulama now, like, okay, somebody in, like, Shaykh Yunus, rahimahullah, like, he was a student. Like, he was a normal, like, kid, and then he did make a decision, I'm going to study like this. Most of my teacher, he's studying Bukhari for like, how many years now? About 20 years now? 20 or 19 years, probably 19 years now. So, like, he's a normal person, he grew up here in India, grew up in England now, it's just normal people. Man, Anam Sab, Allah Ta'ala give him afiyah and sihan. Normal person, then ijtihad, effort. Man, Riyan Sab, normal, grew up London, England, born here, I think born in India, I don't know. But again, from the next generation, it's going to come from you. Nobody's going to come from the sky, not malaika coming down from the heavens. So somebody from this generation is going to become the next people to lead Leicester, lead the UK. It's not the next mufti is going to come from your generation. When these guys die, who's going to replace them? You get what I'm saying? It's coming from there. So that's what your job is going to be. We need people. And the same way, for example, they say, okay, this young kid, you see a new person. Oh, mashallah, he's come up. Where did he come from? He was a normal kid. He went to Madrasa and he started hard. Now he started writing books. He started writing publications. That mufti. Sabir, mashallah, he writes so many books, so many like Arabic books. Really good. So mashallah, look, where did he come from? He didn't come from anywhere. He didn't come from normal. Probably younger than, like, so all of you have the potential. But it's whether you're going to actually use the potential. And you know what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, like, obviously, these things benefit. You got a good father, a good madrasa, good institute, good background, good support. Sometimes you have people who don't have, like Sabri, he started doing hadith, and he got mistakes in hadith. He felt so embarrassed. I can't read hadith properly. And so at a later age, he started learning Nahu. And then he became the Imam of Nahu. So sometimes people start young, some start old. It's up to you. Everything makes a difference. You have a good mother, she makes you a hafiz. You got a good father, he gives you good tarbiyah. You got a good teacher, they help you a lot. You get a good institute, the syllabus is good, the teaching institute is good, it helps you a lot. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. So wherever you are, so these things help, maybe 5, 10, 15%, 20%, 30%. But the other 70% is yours. So everybody can achieve that. But you have to have that want and that desire that, no, I want to reach that level. I want to get there. I want to be like this. I want to do something. If not, like you see that, like you got some kids that this guy can be something. But you yourself don't understand that I can be something. Sometimes you see some kids like, mashallah, you guys are clever. But you're not clever that you're zero right now. You got potential. So when you say clever, like you're zero, you have no value. But potentially, you got a lot of potential. You understand? So that's you have to understand that I got potential. And that potential can take me really far and really high. But you have to use your potential. You're a teenager, you're already a hafiz, you already know Quran, you got a chance to start, at the age of 14, 15, 16, you're learning Arabic, you're well advanced. So just make use of this. Go further, try harder. Do you understand? And you can achieve so much. Again, no muhaddith is born, muhaddith are created. No mufassir is born, mufassir are created. Yes, no nahwi or no lughawi is born. They're not created. They're not born as such. They make themselves into such, or something happens. So if you want to become like that, no faqih is born as a mufti, but you work for that. So the choice is yours. If you work for that, you put in the effort, the time, then you can achieve those things. Do you understand? Are you following me? So work hard. Don't be lazy. And more than being lazy is, it's not about it's realizing that it's not like it can be done, and having a goal. That's the main thing. That because what happens nowadays, a lot of the way the things is everything is a joke. It's like I'm not saying that don't joke and laugh. It's you just think of it as I can't do that. That's not possible. It's not true. That's not true. It's you could become that person. You could become that person. Any of you could become. And if you realize I want to become that, then you can start. If you want to say I want to lose weight, then you start doing something in it. I want to become a carpenter. Then what do? You go to a class. If you want to become an electrician, what do? You start going to electrician class. I want to find a job. Then you go looking for a job. Is anybody going to look for a job who's not interested? So if you understand, I want to become a hafiz, then you start learning hifz. I want to become an alim, then you start learning stuff. I want to become not just a normal alim. I want to become the elite. Then you think, well, how do you become elite? Then you start reading the books. How did they study? How much effort they put in? How much mutala they done? Then you start then you start doing it. If you don't even have the ambition, that's the thing we're looking for. Word ambition. That's what's lacking. The ambition. If you have that ambition, then you can start working for that goal. If not a goal, you're not gonna work for that. Have that ambition in your mind that I want to achieve this and I can achieve this. And if you have that in your mind, I can achieve this, then you will start working for that. Do you understand? Everybody following me? So, and realize your potential. That's a big thing. You have to realize, what potential do I have? And the problem with majority of the teenagers, 13, 14, 15, you don't realize your potential. Your parents realize that, your teachers realize that, they're trying to get you to realize your potential. If you realize your potential, then you can achieve that potential. But that's the thing, and realize that you have that potential. To become a great mufti, a great muhaddith, a great faqih, a great teacher, a great da'i, a great lecturer, a great writer. All this potential is there. Yes, but you have to unlock that potential. First, accept that the potential is there and unlock it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.